Today we're going to make some easy plain flour bread. So to make the bread we're going to need plain flour, some sunflower oil, granulated sugar, water, some fast action dried yeast, some salt. First thing we're going to do is get the water into the mixing bowl and dissolve the sugar. So the recipe calls for 1.5 cups, which is approximately 350 mils of warm water. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar, now that the sugar is dissolved, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of dry active yeast. Now in the UK you can buy them in little sachets, so it's just over 14 grams for 1 tablespoon of the active yeast, so I'm going to use 2 sachets. We're going to add that to the dissolved sugar water. I'm going to leave the mixture for 10 to 15 minutes until it becomes frothy. Now that the mixture's been left for 10 minutes, you can see the foaminess on the top. We're going to start by adding the salt. So we're going 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of oil. So we're going to start by adding 3 cups of the flour. We're going to hold back from the 4th one because we may not need it. So what we're going to do is put the 3 cups in, which is, each cup is 150 grams of flour if you want to work in grams. So we'll add the first cup, number 2, cup number 3, and then we're going to combine the mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and add the other cup of flour. I've added half so far. We'll mix that in before I commit. And then the last of the flour. We're going to keep the flour out because we are going to need that for when we need the dough. At this point I'm going to get my hands in to the mixture. The next step in the process is to flour the sides, and then we are going to knead the dough. I like to flour my hands as well because it helps to avoid it sticking. For roughly 10 minutes we're going to knead the dough. While I do this, we can go over the steps we've done so far. So the first thing we did was use 1.5 cups of warm water, roughly 350 milliliters. To that we added the sugar, which was 2 teaspoons. Once that was dissolved, we added 2 7-gram packs of dry active yeast, and we allowed that to rest for 10 minutes until the liquid became foamy. Once we had the foamy liquid with the activated yeast, we added 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. You can use vegetable oil or olive oil as a substitute for the sunflower oil. Then we added 3 cups of plain flour and combined the mixture. Then we added the 4th cup. We then floured the work surface, and now we are kneading the dough. This needs to be done for 10 minutes. Now that the dough has been kneaded for 10 minutes, so I put some olive oil into a bowl. Then we're going to place the mixture into the oil bowl. Then you can either cover it with a clean kitchen towel, some cling film. So I'm going to cover it with the cling film. And then we're going to leave that to stand for 60 to 90 minutes. As you can see, the dough has doubled in size. And then it says to punch down the dough to remove the air bubbles. And then it says to leave on a floured surface for a minute. To rest. Right, we're just going to knead it, and then we're going to, for a minute, we also want to start trying to shape it so it fits the tin. Lightly oil the tray, then we're going to place the dough into the container, into the tin. Then I'm going to use a knife to score it, like so. Then I'm just going to use some melted butter on the top instead of using one of the eggs or milk. This is meant to give it a softer, buttery crust. We will see. And allow it to sit for 10 minutes in the tray before we pop it in the oven. Now it's risen in the tray, I'm going to get that in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Right, it's been in for 40 minutes. Let's get the bread out. There we go. Carefully take it out of the tin and let it rest. This is going to be hot. Yoy! Vicky, come see.
Oh my god. That looks lovely.
And let it rest.
Yeah.
Not going to cut it.
Yeah, no.
But I'm happy with that.
Oh, it smells amazing as well.
Thank you, baby.
Wow.
There we go. So there's the bread. So it's been in for 40 minutes. Taken it out of the tin. Going to leave it to rest. It's going to need at least 10 minutes to rest on the side. Then I'll put it in a container. And there you go, there we have some plain flour bread. I think this is just as good as using bread flour. It's got a lovely taste to it. It's nice and firm, cooked all the way through. It's got a nice crust to it. The butter just gives it a nice buttery golden crust. Very happy with that. I'll leave the instructions and the ingredients and everything in the description of this video if you need to reference them. Super easy bread to make. Thank you for watching. Check out some of the other easy recipes on my channel, and I'll hopefully see you in a future video. Bye bye.